Gather round, y'all people, let me tell you all a story of something I once loved when I was a child. It's a series of books that features a bunch of little feline creatures, and they live out there in the great old English wild. And it's all about cats, and they hunt and fight and spat, and they don't know words for things like people and cars. Now Jaron, Mitchell, and Toasty, your creators and co-hosties, are gonna tell you all about it, and then we can all be stars. They're gonna tell you all about it, and then we can all be stars.
Welcome, warriors, apprentices, medicine cats. Pause to wink at the medicine cats. Kits, queens, elders, who else is there? Welcome to Stars in the Making. This is the... Was it?
Sorry, I said rogues or kitty pets.
There's no rogues or kitty pets here.
Hi.
In the clan?
Oh.
We got one.
Shit. Sorry, kitty pet.
Hanging out on the fence.
Tips hat, kitty pet.
I'm a kitty pet.
Welcome to Stars in the Making. This is the Warriors podcast, the only Warriors podcast. That can't be true, but we're rolling with it. My name's Jaron D Ratman, he, him.
I'm Toasty Valentine, he, him.
I'm Mitchell Crispi, they, them.
And today, we are talking about another book.
Wow.
Another one?
That's
you gotta
crazy.
be fucking kidding me.
I can't believe there's 5 of these books.
We're talking about Book 5, A Dangerous Path.
Hell yeah.
To be
First
specific.
time so far that the name has not.
Clearly indicated to me what's going to happen in the book.
I think I made a note about, like, oh my god, this is it. It's the dangerous path.
We found it.
We found it.
I was for sure positive there was going to be a whole lot of stuff happening with the Thunderpath this book. Rising Storm was all about a rainy storm. The fire one, what was the fire one called? Fuck.
Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice was all about the winter and then the fire.
That's
This
not
one had
true.
nothing to
It
do
was
with the Thunderpath.
there was
Wait,
not
no,
a
that was-
fire in Fire and Ice.
What was the fucking fire one? What was that one called? The last one. God damn it.
The last one was Rising Storm because it ends with the rainstorm putting out the fire.
Oh, yeah. Oh, never mind then. I guess I'm conflating titles.
Fire and Ice starts with a fire and ends with an ice.
If it seems like I, Mitchell Crispi, am confused about what happens in the books that I seemingly just read, it's because it's actually been maybe like 6 months since we recorded.
Yeah.
For viewer context, or listener context, this is not a visual medium. Before we started recording, we were like, should we address that it's been like 6 months since we recorded? And Mitchell said, we'll address it as soon as we get confused.
I did not
Happened
expect it.
immediately.
I didn't
Which is why
expect
I
it to
said
be
we
so
should just say it
fast.
immediatly.
I made it happen,
We
so
found,
we all
we found a
win.
good middle ground. We said it immediately and we also got confused.
All right.
Yeah, it has been, it's been a while. We've all been very busy. Hopefully for you guys listening, it has not been that long, but for us, it has been like half a year
Yeah,
since we've
roughly.
gotten to sit down and talk about Warriors. How's everybody doing?
Oh, go ahead. You go first, Toasty.
It's a great.
My year as a whole, not great. Not the best year of my life. Not the worst.
Well, that's good, you know.
Yeah, I've just been having some health issues this year, which is why I've been not super at a great place to record and do stuff. I had surgery about a month and a half ago, but I'm better now. We're working on it.
I think all of us have just had many real life things happening since our last book recording.
Yes. Yeah.
I was very busy with school, changing majors from music composition to attempted music education to now just vocal performance, which is super fun. Unironically.
That's like what you're doing right now.
That's like what I'm
Performing
doing right now.
vocally.
Oh my god, I'm performing with my voice, except I'm not like singing opera right now.
You
Could be. Probably be a better podcast.
Could be. One day we'll have the opera episode where all of us, yes us, have to sing the entire time.
I can't wait.
I'm busy that day, actually.
Everybody's
I haven't
cult
said the
favorite.
day yet.
Everybody's cult favorite Warrior Cats book is the musical episode anyway.
Yeah, so true. Like season 7, book 2.
Yeah, I have just been busy with the fact that I am bad at planning, combined with a personality type that makes me say yes to everything. So I've been running around. I've been traveling a lot this summer, and every time I've been trying to sit down and find time to do other things, I can't. It's probably mostly the least forgivable of the 3 people on this podcast who haven't had time, but that's okay.
It's all good.
We're making up for it now, because let me
We're
tell you,
making it work.
reading this book, I'm fucking back in it. I cannot wait for the next book.
We chose
We're
a
back
good,
on this bandwagon.
I think we chose a really good book to sort of hiatus on, because this book is so emotionally strong that I just get instantly sucked back into it.
Can I just say, I read this book 6 months ago when I thought we were going to be recording again in a few
Me
weeks.
too.
So I've had to do some brushing up
Yeah,
because I forgot completely everything. I did not remember a singular thing about the book.
I listened to the audiobook on Audible, sponsor us, and just like getting right back into the tension and the emotions of this book it just happened instantly. I'm like, yeah, I'm back in it. I'm pulled in. I'm locked in. I can't wait to read the last book, because this book is so obviously set up for a huge finale, and I'm so excited for it.
It was such a cruel one to hiatus on for me, because I'm like, now I've been waiting 6 months to read the next book and see what happens.
So true. I'm
That's
dying.
true. That's true.
I cannot
And
wait.
the exact opposite of me, because I read the book in the past 6 days and then listened to the audiobook yesterday to double up and really make sure I knew all the plot points. And Toasty came into our like planning chat and said, like, can't wait till we get to talk about that part of the book. And so as I was reading, so many things kept happening. I was like, this must be that part of the book. And then another crazy thing would happen. I'd be like, no, this must be that part of the book.
Oh, man.
I
can't wait.
still do not know what you mean. I assume you
Yeah.
mean the ending, but
I don't
maybe
remember.
not.
You're going to find out.
I straight up don't remember.
I'm
No, I have no
heartbroken.
idea.
I've been
I'm so
agonizing
sorry.
over it.
I remember what that part is. And I can't wait for you guys to get mad about it with me.
I think I remember, because I think it's the thing I'm still mad about, even after like 6 months of just like chilling.
There's a lot of
But-
stuff I'm mad about, but like in an emotional
So
way.
true.
Yeah, like I'm so invested in this. Not like this is the dumbest writing decision I've ever seen, but like, how could this character do this kind of mad?
How could they betray me, the
How
reader?
could they betray me personally?
I must write fan fiction to clear this air.
I must fanfix this.
Yeah, that's all I've been doing for the past 6 months, is just furiously writing fan fiction while waiting to read the next book.
Or writing
next
fanfiction
6
where Blue Star gets professional medical care and is in a better place.
She gets taken to dementia care.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. So do we... I kind of wanted to, with this episode, since we've recorded 4 book reviews, to kind of try a different thing and maybe go less in just like summarizing in chronological order and giving our thoughts on every event, and more so just talking about what happens as it comes up. And maybe we can structure this better later when we've had time to think about this, and, you know, I can make an itinerary of things to talk about before we record. So we're kind of winging it right now, but we can
been
start
winging
with...
it the whole time.
we're learning as we do it, which is how you do everything. You're bad at it for a while, and then you learn how to do it, and you get better. The first thing we can talk about is Blue Star, since we've just talked about her.
Oh boy.
Blue Star is simultaneously the best and most infuriating character in this book.
Yeah, so in this book, Blue Star clearly has like Alzheimer's or dementia of some kind, if you have not read the book, because they mention her having good days and having bad days where she remembers what's going on and is like very clear and cognizant and with it, and days where she doesn't really remember everyone in the clan and what's happened for the past several books.
Yeah, and mixed with, you know, constant bouts of increasing paranoia, and generally it seems very dementia coded, but the book
does kind of chalk it up to old cat disease. It's a thing that is happening to Blue Star and had been happening to Speckletail? No. The old cat from River Clan who wanders off.
Not Mistyfoot.
No, Mistyfoot's her daughter.
Greypool.
Greypool, thank you.
It's a thing that had been happening to Blue Star and apparently had also been happening to Greypool. They kind of treat it as if it's a thing that's normal to happen to old cats, but I was a little bit confused because in the first few books, they kind of made a point of making it seem as though most elders retain a good deal of wit and grace and feistiness to them. So this book's implication that this was kind of like expected for old cats, or at least normalizing it by having it happen to two characters, kind of felt out of the blue for me, which is one of the reasons that it was so infuriating, even though it's so hard to be mad at Blue Star. The way that she acts in this book felt like the type of thing that, I guess this is one of the reasons that it's such an accurate metaphor for like mental decay and degenerative mental diseases, because it just felt like it was unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never got the sense that this is like a thing that happens to every cat. I got the sense that this happened to Blue Star because of the hardships she had gone through combined with her old age. She's a leader on her last life, just so she's lived so much longer than most warriors will, just by virtue of being able to die multiple times.
I personally didn't think like it was implied that it's just, this happens to old cats, because Crooked Star, the leader of River Clan, was old, but he was just like fragile.
Crooked Star and
that's
Night
true.
Star both. Because Night Star was an elder before... Oh my god, we have to talk about Night Star too. Night Star was an elder before he, quote-unquote, became leader. And then, he was still with it. His mind was all still there. And I got the sense that he was further along than Blue Star in age. Blue Star seems
I think so.
on the younger end of the leaders, just personality-wise, I suppose, the way that she's depicted in the previous books. It seems to me more it's, a combination of old age and trauma sort of develops this mindset in her. And then for Greypool, it seemed more like, she definitely had some memory issues, but she also, was able to snap herself out of it once she was more cognizant of what was happening.
That's
So
true.
it's-
I think just with this book, they just wanted to mirror Greypool and Blue Star. I think that was just more of like a metaphorical choice than implying that's just what happens to old cats.
I
Because
guess
like
that's true, yeah.
Greypool was the adoptive mother of Blue Star's kids, and I think they just wanted to show their own progression with age.
Yeah, they're sharing a similar fate till the end. Very tied by fate, the two of them. Yeah.
Blue Star has her mindset since the Great Fire in the last book has been, StarClan's out to get me. They're punishing me for abandoning my kits to River Clan to become leader of Thunder Clan. And she believes everyone in the clan is out to get her. She calls them a clan full of traitors so many
Multiple
times in this
times.
book, including Fireheart after he makes a move behind her back to prevent war with Wind Clan.
Tisk.
And so she's in that mindset. She even goes to the Mother Mouth to declare war against StarClan for all that they've done to her. And it's really upsetting to read. This Blue Star has been such a foundation of strength in the first half of this series, and then just ever since the Tiger Claw betrayal, it's been really hard to watch her kind of spiral like this. Really, really engaging, but also very sad, very upsetting.
Yeah. It drives
Master's
most...
dementia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really helping prep all kids. Really teach the kids that are reading this book what to expect if it happens to you in real life.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be calling you a traitor and making you war with other cats.
Yeah.
Her personality shift really drives a lot of the plot in the book, because it's not only about the how sad and emotionally effective it is to watch her go through this spiral, but it also inherently means that Fireheart is shouldered with a huge burden in this book. I think that this book should have been called Warriors 5. Fireheart has a rough time. Because
Oh my
he
God.
is going the fuck through it.
Fireheart is basically playing damage control for Blue Star this entire book.
He's like a
Everybody
really worried
hates him.
PR person.
Nobody's
Yeah.
talking to him. He needs a fucking vacation at just the most fresh kill you can find.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
because
needs a
they're
break.
like the aforementioned the conflict with Wind Clan. Because the Blue Star believes that Wind Clan is stealing prey unwarrantedly because they know that there's dogs in the forest and the dogs are leaving the traces of prey.
Right. That's the
So-
first information we get in the prologue.
In the
Is
prologue,
this crazy prologue. I personally really love this prologue because of the fact that we're doing this podcast and we've talked in the past about how it would be really fun to go through all the Warriors books and then maybe even try the other series in like the canon with there's like a series about dogs. And so
I
I've
don't
always
think
been
it's like I don't think they take place in the same world.
that makes a lot of sense. I was thinking to myself, they
Because
must
it would
not.
be very questionable,
It would be
like the
really
sentience
funny.
of the dogs in these books versus
Yeah.
the sentience of the dogs in the Survivors books, and
They
how
make the
the
dogs
Survivors books are much more like these, where the dogs, are people. They have fully formed thoughts, beliefs. They can form coherent sentences and communicate. Whereas in this book, they speak in single words and they just want to kill.
They are
Yeah.
murderous, dumb bastards with
My
no
note
thoughts
is-
in their head.
Why are the dogs stupid and primitive? These cats are preaching philosophy and the dogs can't form a full sentence.
It's so funny.
I don't know if I dig the, like, outsiders being savages kind of narrative that happens here. Not a big fan of that, personally.
It is a little strange, It reminds me of the type of conversations that get brought up in some of my favorite fictional series of all time, like Lord of the Rings, where there is a species called the orcs who are inherently evil, and so for a long time, media
Yeah.
theorists have been like, is that a problem? Because that implies that it's even possible when in the real world it's not. It's similar to that in that way. I think that it makes a little more sense because they're dogs. I don't know, because they're it's weird because humans are seen that way too. So it's kind of almost more like aliens, where you don't know necessarily that they're inherently evil, just that we can't understand them. It's strange.
The vibe that I get from the dogs in this book is that they are just fucked up. Because when they describe the dogs later in the book, I thought we were talking about wolves. I straight up thought that these were wolves for a part of this book.
Yeah.
Because
I
they're
think
like
they're just-
described as being like way bigger than any other dogs. I think they're just like trained hunting dogs.
I think they're
And
hunting.
Yeah,
just-
I
yeah.
assume that's
They've
what
gotten
they are.
loose, and maybe the fact that they're trained hunting dogs is the reason why they're less
like-
sentient than the cats.
They're
or
like bloodhounds, right? Because
Of some sort, yeah.
yeah,
in the beginning, the men, the people who control them, make them like sniff around in the forest and find things. So presumably there's some massive bloodhounds of some sort.
Yeah. The dog presence in the book does confirm a few things that are delightful to me, though. The fact that they are double the size of the dogs that the cats normally see confirms to me that even if these are Great Danes and they're huge, right? That does confirm to me that the cats are encountering normal pet dogs. They're seeing. I wonder if they've ever seen a fucking corgi waddling around. Is what I'm wondering.
they sound like
imply
a
it.
Yorkshire Terrier.
Yeah. They're watching just mini poodles, and they're like, "Whoa, we thought those dogs were scary. Now there's big dogs." So
We find out that
you
the
know,
dogs that have been chasing them thus far are just chihuahuas.
they're
exactly.
The dogs in this book are actually just pit bulls. They're just
no, a
slightly
warrior
bigger, but
cat-
they're really buff, so they're
Yeah,
scary.
The cats don't even understand that you could have that much muscle.
Yeah, the
But,
cats have never
it
seen
can't
a
be
buff
chihuahuas.
animal before.
A warrior cat would absolutely destroy a chihuahua. They would make it fresh kill.
Oh, for sure.
There are chihuahuas in my apartment complex that are adorable little beasties that will not stop barking at me. And I would fear for their life if a warrior cat was loose in my apartment complex.
I'd be like, what the fuck is that thing?
Yeah, I think I talked about in the first episode how there are some greater threats that the warriors recognize as being like, we don't even fuck with these, and it's like foxes, badgers, birds of prey, as we also see in this book, and dogs. Dogs are one of those, because the dogs in this book are like, this is an evil force that we cannot fuck with. Like, these dogs would destroy the clans if we tried to fight them. It's crazy. It's scary. Like, even knowing that they're dogs
scary
through the whole book, because they kind of try to string it along like it's a mystery, even though at the beginning of the book we see the dogs.
It's like Fireheart is simultaneously the smartest and the stupidest person in the book, because, like, he constantly gets hints that it's a pack of dogs and not just a dog in the forest, and yet he doesn't figure it out until, like, he sees them.
Blue Star's like, StarClan warned me about a pack, and Fireheart's like, yes, a dog.
A dog.
There's a dog in these woods.
If they don't understand what pack implies in relation to dog, then why do they have the word, is what I kept thinking to myself.
Yeah.
It's like, it goes back to the way that they don't know what a car is, like all this, the language is like, they have the word pack. They know what a dog is. They can't put two and two together. It's just crazy.
Also, it's wild to me that they can figure out that both, like, a corgi and this massive bloodhound are both dogs. Because, to be honest, if I didn't know what animals were, if I saw multiple breeds of dogs, I don't know if I could connect that they're both dogs.
That's
like,
true.
If you
That's
showed
why
me a
it's
Chihuahua
so
and a
real.
Great Dane, I'd be like, those are different creatures.
Yeah,
Those
I'd
are
be like,
different guys.
This is like the difference between like a mountain lion and like one of those Mongolian like sand cats, right? That are tiny. Like there is no connection here. Yeah, but maybe that's why they should be scared of the two legs. They should be like, do you see what the two legs do to their dogs? They all sound the same, so we know they're dogs. They all go bark. But they must be doing experiments on those things in the basement because they all look so fucked. They see a pug and they're like, "There's no way I'm letting that happen to my kids."
There's no way God could create that creature.
God cannot. No, only a wretched two leg.
But moving back to the Fireheart stuff, Fireheart playing damage control with the dogs in these forests. This sows conflict between ThunderClan and RiverClan because Blue Star decides. Wind Clan, thank you. There's so much other conflict between ThunderClan and RiverClan. It's hard to keep track of everything. ThunderClan and Wind Clan because Blue Star decides that Wind Clan is out to get them and is stealing their prey and leaving it on the other side of the border to taunt them. So she's like, we're going to attack Wind Clan, which results in one of my favorite scenes in the book is when Fireheart talks to White Storm about going to Wind Clan to try to barter peace with Tall Star before the attack goes through, and they get the whole clan involved. And I really like this scene because it feels like one of the first times in these books that we're exploring ThunderClan as like a group of characters as opposed to like a collective organization. Because every cat has a different opinion about what's going on here. Like there's some like Darkstripe and is it Speckletail?
Longtail.
Speckletail is the queen, right?
Yes, Speckletail doesn't want to lie to Blue Star.
Speckletail doesn't want to lie to Blue Star. Sandstorm doesn't want to lie to Blue Star. Longtail doesn't want to fight a pointless battle.
Or
Dustpelt
like
thinks Longtail's a cowardly piece of shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did it finally. We hit the point where I realized I knew every cat in ThunderClan because I was I found myself thinking like, I wonder what Dustpelt thinks about this. I was like, wait, why do I know that?
Why do I know who Dustpelt is?
Why do I know that he's not here right now?
No, that's why I love this scene so much. Is because it feels like we're diving into not super deep on every cat, but like deep enough to see sort of where their loyalties lie, where their, what they think about something so radical as like ignoring what the leader has said and acting independently.
It finally felt like everyone mattered as individuals and not just like them being background characters for Fireheart's different arcs and stories.
Yeah.
We got to hear all of their opinions and allegiances and more about them as characters, and I just really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and they're so fleshed out at this point that it's also like difficult to say any one of them is wrong, you know? Like, it's not like the first book where some of them were just like, ugh, kitty pet, and you think to yourself, oh, well, they're just being a bigot. They're the asshole here. In these scenes, this book gets so complex that you're like, who is right, you know? Like, all of these cats have their opinions, and this is a really complicated situation. And it's really important. Like, I think this is not the only scene where this kind of takes place in the book, but all the collective scenes where Fireheart has to do so much, it's kind of like political networking is such a good setup to watching him become leader.
Yeah.
And fall into that role.
Because that really is kind of the end game of this book, is that Fireheart is... He's like, I have to do this damage control for Blue Star, but I also have to make sure these cats trust me and like me and that I can lead them, because if/when something happens to Blue Star, I'm the next on the ladder. I'm gonna have to take charge. And he's got a pretty daunting task ahead of him taking charge after Blue Star, because Blue Star was such a beloved leader. But also because of, everything he's had to do to cover up her issues.
Yeah, because Blue Star is just making horrible decisions this whole book.
Yeah.
Because she does not trust anyone. She does not believe in StarClan. It's just
really
like
sad,
all
horrible decisions.
Fireheart, this whole book is just that picture of Ben Affleck smoking a cigarette. Like, he's just running around disappointing everyone. He does not want to follow her orders, but, like, he has to.
Damn, dude, that's what he needs. He needs, like a joint of catnip and, like, a vacation, yeah.
You think even for a second, he's like, maybe I should just sneak into the two-leg place just for a little bit of catnip, so I could just sleep a bit tonight.
Did they ever
I'll
mention
go,
catnip?
quote-unquote, patrol by two-leg place, and then he's gone for like 5 hours.
Just the image of Fireheart high as
Crashed
shit,
out.
just batting at things, just like, man, what the hell?
Man, what the fuck?
We better get a scene in one of these books eventually where there's a battle and they're like, go get this character, and they show up high as fuck and they're like, where have you been? And they're
I've been
like
at the
swatting
two-leg
lazily at other
place.
cats.
Yeah, there
Go-
was like
go
a
get
butterfly.
Greenstone.
and-
Go get Greenstone.
What could he possibly be up to? One thing we forgot to mention that happened at the very start of this book is we learn where Tiger Claw is and what he is doing.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Because the end of the last book, the big cliffhanger is Tiger Star is ShadowClan's new leader. Now we find out, I had brought up, it's weird that Night Star is dead already, because he just became leader, and he should have had 9 lives. We find out from Running Nose in this book that StarClan fucking sucks, and didn't give Night Star the 9 lives because they still recognized Broken Tail as being alive and being the leader of ShadowClan.
Yeah, it's
Also,
like
can
a
I
literal...
say-
Go ahead.
They never mention Tiger Star going to the Moonstones and getting his 9 lives. They never talk about that.
Yeah. What
we
if he
can
never did either?
we can assume that it must have happened because Running Nose said that like StarClan told him a new leader was coming. So
Yeah, but,
Tiger
like-
Star clearly is part of some omen by StarClan. So we can assume that he underwent the ritual and got the 9 lives. Because I can't imagine Tiger Claw seeing like 9 lives. No, thank you.
It's just like my crackpot theory is that he went to the Moonstones and got rejected and is just pretending that it
That's
happened.
a good theory, actually.
That's
just like how. That's just like my vibe because yeah, they said they'd send a great leader, but like, do they actually approve of Tiger Claw at all, or is he just pretending they approve of him because he wants the power?
Yeah, it's tough to know. I assume because Running Nose seems very bummed out about Tiger Star being leader.
He does seem convinced that it's true.
He seems convinced that like this is the leader that was prophesied that will bolster ShadowClan strength, but I think he knows that it's not good for the rest of the forest.
Yeah, it's just like
Shout
I
out-
bring that up because later on, we get also a new leader of River Clan, And she immediately mentions that she went to the Moonstone. And just the fact that Tiger Star didn't do that throws me off.
That's
Like,
true.
it's
I
a
never
big
thought
deal.
about that.
The other reason that I like this crackpot theory is that it kind of helps explain something else that's brought up in the book, which is Fireheart being multiple times worried about whether or not he still needs to consider Tiger Star a threat, because obviously he's still a bad person. But Fireheart mentions, like, perhaps he'll be A, too busy training up his new clan, and B, satisfied for now with the fact that he is a leader. Like, maybe the fact that he's not leader of ThunderClan doesn't matter. He's a leader. But we obviously see that's not true because he's doing so much, including the whole climax of the book, in order to try and destroy ThunderClan, that maybe that is true and he still doesn't have his lives. So maybe your crackpot theory is right. We'll see.
It's just a theory, a book theory.
Yeah, a book
It's
theory.
just a cat theory.
It's just something that stood out to me.
Fun thing about this podcast will be looking back on the things that we think and having those crackpot theories documented so that we can look back on them later and maybe think, holy shit, I was cooking, I'm a genius, or oh my god, what was I thinking? That was so silly. And both of those are great outcomes to me.
Because we finally listened to our own first episode, and I brought up, like, in the first episode, I'm like, when are these cats fucking? Because, like, they always mention new kids, but never who the parents are. And then immediately they started mentioning the parentage of kids. And that became very important.
Yeah. To be clear, though, they still aren't mentioning when the cats are fucking, which is what you asked.
That's true.
They have not gotten to Kitty Love yet. The closest we've
They are
gotten
always so
is
busy. When do they have the time?
Well, we got a little bit of nuzzling between Gray Stripe and Silver Stream in the olden ones.
Fireheart and Sandstorm in this book, I swear to God.
They're like a married couple already. What is going on?
Literally the whole book, everyone's like, hey, you and Sandstorm, right? And he's like, huh? What are you talking about?
It's like, I don't know
Sandstorm's
what
like,
you mean.
Hanging out with another cat, huh? I'm definitely not jealous.
What are these?
And Fireheart's like
Pretty
smoking his little
crazy
cigarette, like,
women
I've got to
talking
go talk
about.
to Blue Star.
I'm glad that it didn't. I was gonna say, just on the topic of the obvious and blossoming love interest between Sandstorm and Fireheart, I am glad that they didn't go in a direction that I thought it was gonna go, because there were multiple points where Sandstorm was getting jealous of Cinderpaw, which, like, I understood as a character development for Sandstorm, but I was worried because I couldn't quite tell what they were implying. I was worried they were implying that Cinderpaw, Cinderpelt now, huh? Because she's a medicine cat. Whatever.
Yeah.
Was also developing feelings for Fireheart, and I was like, no, that's your big brother. You got leave him alone. But luckily they didn't. They
That's
dropped
your
that. I was
teacher.
just reading into it too much.
I think Cinderpelt was just kind of fucking with Sandstorm, to be honest.
That makes sense, yeah. And
I think
you
she
know,
was
they
just
are
like
close.
having fun.
I think that Cinderpelt feels a close connection with Fireheart. Whether or not maybe the authors later in time would say, yeah, Cinderpelt had a little bit of a teacher crush on Fireheart. I don't know. I don't know what the fandom thought about that. I don't know what the authors have said about that, if fans have asked about it. But I kind of get the vibe that Cinderpelt has this close connection to Fireheart, and that maybe she's a little bit jealous that Sandstorm is becoming a bigger part of Fireheart's life, and that he's maybe going to start going to her for counsel more than Cinderpelt. And so she kind of she cherishes the moments she has with Fireheart, and is maybe a little bit, fucking with Sandstorm as like, Fireheart's gonna come have his fresh kill with me today. Don't I feel special?
Doesn't have to be romantic for it to be jealousy. Platonic jealousy.
It's like when your friend starts dating someone and you're like, I get to hang out with my friend because I've been friends longer.
That makes sense, yeah.
I'm like, to me, what it felt like is that Cinderpelt only sees Fireheart as like an older brother, and so she was like, I don't know why you're threatened by me, so I'm just gonna fuck with you. Like, there's literally nothing to worry about. I don't know why you're this jealous of it. Like,
and on top of that, it goes hand in hand with the rest of Cinderpelt's incredible characterization. Really just another win for Medicine Cats across the board. Not only was I so glad that Running Nose got a little bit more of a spotlight in this book, but Cinderpelt really filling the shoes of everyone's dearly departed beloved Yellowfang so well.
so much.
She gets sassier in this book. She has so much confidence in her abilities. She's such a good counsel for Fireheart whenever he needs, and she has such a good ability to step into the responsibilities. It was really great to see, and it goes hand in hand with the way that she treats Sandstorm.
I'm just glad that the Fireheart Sandstorm will they won't they has seemingly ended on will they by the end of this book, and we're not going to keep
they gotta
stringing
have
it
kids,
along.
right?
They say
Come on.
the words out loud, "I love you," which I
Yeah.
never thought I'd hear a cat say.
It was crazy, like reading the book and then re-listening to the audiobook, like hearing
McLeod
the
Andrews, our goat.
Yeah. Fireheart style of like, I love you, and being like, holy fuck, he said it.
When he
said
says,
it out
"I
loud
want
with his
you there,
voice.
Sandstorm. I need you there," I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
finally!"
Oh my! But he does her so fucking dirty when he doesn't give her.
Yeah.
Man, this is such a big the tangled web of complex problems in this book is so well crafted because the tension in both directions around the problem of not giving Sandstorm an apprentice is so well done because as a growing character in the books that we've come to like, and we've come to like her as a partner for Fireheart, we want her to be happy and we want her to have the apprentice that she's earned because there's only 2 kits ready to be apprenticed. It is both of Tiger Claw's youngins. Tiger
Yeah,
Star now, sorry.
Bramble Kit and Tawny Kit.
Yes. And we can get to them later because I honestly, I fucking love those little guys.
I adore Bramble Kit, Bramble Paw
I adore
in this book.
both of them. But the point being that Fireheart, because Blue Star is still not making the decisions that she should be making, has to decide who's going to apprentice these cats, and he chooses the other young warrior who's really
Brackenfur?
cool.
Is
Brackenfur
the one
is
who?
cool.
Yeah, Brackenfur mentors. Brackenfur is Cinderpelt's brother.
Yes, Brackenfur ends up
And-
mentoring Tawny Kit.
Fireheart lets him mentor Tawny Kit because the other kit he was going to mentor got taken by a hawk.
Oh God, we gotta
We
put that
have
on
to
the
talk
side
about
because
the
we
fucking
have to
hawk.
talk about that. I want to get through this point, but then we can
that-
talk and cry. I can't fucking. Okay, I'm taking that and I'm putting it to the side. Was that a as a reference to a manga that I've been reading?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
me and
got
Jaron know
you.
we're both nerds.
Funniest thing ever.
Exactly. The
We'll talk about that after the recording.
yeah, DM us if you want to talk about manga.
Hell yeah.
That I love that conflict because it feels so real, but it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like, what the fuck are you doing, Fireheart? Because one of the main things that drives so much in this book, including this, in my mind, is how dire of straits ThunderClan is in terms of just number of cats. Like they have so many cats die in this book, including the poor kit that was gonna be Brackenfur's mentor. That there's like no warriors to go around. There's no apprentices to go around. So it's not like Fireheart's like just not giving an apprentice to Sandstorm. He has a valid reason to want to give one to Brackenfur and a valid reason to want to apprentice Bramble Kit himself. So it feels very earned, that character conflict moment.
There's also a big problem in this book of Blue Star not wanting to make any new warriors.
Yes.
Because we have like 4 or 5 apprentices in this book, don't we? We have like Bright Paw,
The 4.
Swift Paw, Ash Paw, and Cloud Paw. Is that all of them?
Well, I guess we
Paw as well.
had.
We had.
Oof. We'll get to it.
Yeah,
So many cats die.
Fireheart keeps trying to recommend them for their warrior rituals because they're all doing good, they're all of age, they're all performing well, but they're also all mentored under Tiger Claw's closest friends. I think is Darkstripe is one of them, right?
Darkstripe is one of them, and Longtail is one of them.
Because, Longtail, Dustpelt, and Darkstripe are the 3 mentors to these 3 other apprentices besides Cloudpaw. And they were the 3 that were closest. They were the 3, I think, that Tiger Claw invited to come with him when he was banished at the end of the
yes,
third
and they all said
book.
no.
They all said no, but,
God,
like,
that's another great part of this book.
we can tell that Darkstripe is... he is not committed to that.
We do get a really great confrontation between Fireheart and Darkstripe later, but we'll get to that.
He wishes he had gone with... But yeah, Blue Star is willing to give Cloudpaw his warrior name, which he does before the end of this book. He gets his name Cloudtail. He becomes a warrior. But because of the other three and who their mentors are, Blue Star refuses to, which causes even more conflict for Fireheart, because Longtail's on his ass, like, hey man, Swiftpaw is killing it. He's got ready to tell Blue Star to, like, make Swiftpaw a warrior. And Fireheart's like, man, I'm really, really trying. I promise I'm really trying.
Every time someone's like, they should be a warrior, he's like, I know.
Yeah, what do you think I'm trying to do? I've been saying this.
This is another aspect. This is like one of the few aspects of the book that I kept feeling like, man, I wish that Fireheart would just do this. I kept wishing. It's you know, when you read these books, you kind of get into the warrior code yourself, and I struggle between the idea of betraying Blue Star on like a confidence level and doing what's best for the clan, because I feel like if Fireheart like just sat everybody down and quietly told them, listen, we all love Blue Star, but she's not in her right mind these days. Like, she's struggling, and we can do what we can to help her, but we all have to understand that she's not making the best decisions. I feel like a lot of things could have been avoided, because they mention later on in the book, everybody is surprised to see her act the way she does when she calls them all traitors to their faces. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, come on. If you had warned everybody about this, a lot of things could have been prevented. That's like one of the most frustrating parts about, like, I understand why he didn't, which makes it more frustrating, but I still feel like it would have been the right decision.
Yeah, I think Fireheart was, you know, he's playing damage control. He's trying to cover it up a little bit because he's really, really, really hoping that Blue Star will be better. Will get better. And I think that he's coping a little bit and holding out for that to happen, which is why he doesn't want to, like, you know, make the irreversible action of, like, telling the rest of the clan, hey, you can't trust your leader anymore.
I think what we have to remember is that he is scared. Like, he is A, not that old, and B, thrust into the position of deputy when he's really not the most experienced warrior in the clan. Yeah. Like, sure, he's done a lot and is very brave, but probably not the best cat for that position. And so he is trying his best to cope with the fact that his leader can't even lead anymore, while trying to keep the clan together on its own without really being able to talk to anybody about it. I think we could forgive him for not telling them, because he was trying his best. The best he could.
Absolutely. Oh, I was going to say, I think it's really great of these books to have a leader in ThunderClan like this, to show, like, not only that the system is flawed, but, like, that our focal characters aren't above those flaws.
Yes.
I feel like it would be very easy in a book like this, especially one, like, targeted at a younger audience, to be like, ThunderClan are the good cats, and their system works for them. And it doesn't work for the other clans because the other clans' cats are not as good. But we do have, like, we have problems with the system in ThunderClan. We have problems with, you know, StarClan makes bad decisions, like refusing to recognize Nightstar as a leader after Broken Star is so dishonorably discharged from the position after everything he does. I like that there isn't, like, a paragon of morality. There's always some gray area, and Blue Star in this book kind of fits that, where it's like, in a system that worked a little bit better, there would be some clause about, like, if a leader gets to this point where she's unable to lead, something can happen. But there isn't anything like that. They just kind of have to continue following her until her end.
So what you're suggesting is perhaps this cat leadership system needs a system of checks and balances, perhaps a parliamentary system of representatives.
I think we need Cat Congress.
I think
what we should do is talk about what I personally find the most upsetting moment of the book so far, which is when Snow Kit, our precious little baby, gets carried away by a fucking hawk. I was losing my mind. I was like, there's no way. The whole time I read it, I was like, there's no way. There's no way they let this cat die. There's no way they let this cat die. And then they couldn't save him. And I swear, I had to put the book fully down and just like stare at my wall for like 10
I think
minutes.
I did the same thing. It was just the most out of the blue shit we've ever seen.
It was
Because
crazy.
for a bit of context, like, shortly before we learn that Snowkit is deaf. He cannot hear. They're like, something's wrong with him, and then Cinderbell checks him out, and he's deaf. And so he's just playing in the middle of camp, and then a hawk takes him.
Because he couldn't
Just
hear the
swoops down and
hawk
takes him.
or anybody calling for him. It was terrifying.
Yeah, that was.
I thought for sure it happens pretty early on, right? It's like the first like third of the book, maybe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they
See where
really.
it is in my notes.
I got instantly excited. They do the whole scene really well. Cinderpelt and Fireheart have this great. Brackenfur has a character development moment here too because he says, "I think something's wrong with Snowkit. You should have somebody check him out." Cinderpelt and Firepaw have this great moment where she like leads Firepaw to the answer, and Fireheart can see, oh, this kid is deaf, right? And I was really excited because my first initial thought, I was so confident in this, was like, oh, we're gonna get to see like this disabled kid become like a full-fledged warrior and like power through this trouble, and like I'm so excited to see their growth because I was so sure I was like, this is going to be an opportunity for Fireheart to like show what a compassionate leader he is, and it's going to show like the good that's still available in ThunderClan. And then like maybe I don't know, I felt like it was like 15 pages later, this poor kid's taken away.
Yeah, it does. It's a little unfortunate. This book seems to be taking a pretty hard stance that deaf kids can't be warriors.
Can't be as good as other kids,
so
which is really unfortunate.
I'm really hoping at some point we get an actual deaf warrior because...
Yeah, I was so excited. I was like, oh, we're going to explore disability. How cool.
Yeah, it
No,
sits a little
Hawk.
bit poorly with me that they were like, we have this deaf kit. We've said it can't be a warrior. What do we do with it? Woe, hawk upon you. Bird in the can.
Hawk upon
Hawk
you,
of
hawk upon
plot
your
convenience
kid.
be upon
Hawk
you.
upon your house, hawk upon your clan, hawk upon your kits.
For everybody wondering, this is why the Eagles couldn't just carry the ring to Moria. Not Moria, to Mordor.
It's because they would have
my-
gotten too distracted by deaf kids.
They would have been like, oh, fucking dinner.
Oh shit, Snowkit?
Because I was like,
I gotta go.
oh, he might not be able to be a warrior, but maybe they can think of something else for him to do. Like, he
I
could
was
still
like-
have use in the clan.
I thought he was going to be Medicine Cat because, like, they've done this trend of, like, cats.
Yeah, because they
who,
did that
like-
with Cinderpelt, where she
Exactly.
was injured and has a permanent mobility disability.
Yeah, we
And,
should, like, talk
found her
about...
new purpose in being a medicine cat.
That was done really well. I think we all mentioned, if I remember correctly, how much we like that. I
Yeah.
think that maybe we put the authors on too high of a pedestal regarding like treating characters with disabilities like respectfully, because there's actually a lot of it in this book. It's kind of apparent with all the like metaphorical dementia, because that is, you know, tragic and it's very emotionally effective, but it isn't handled perfectly. It's handled pretty well. There is just a little bit of a sense that like nobody sees it for what it is and is willing to help. But even more so, it happens with Snowkit, and then to get to another one of the more tragic things that happens later on, it happens again with
Brightpaw.
with
Brightpaw.
Brightpaw, Brightpaw, now Lost Face.
Yeah, we can talk
which
about
is a really cruel name.
we can
Well, I
talk
guess,
about that part of the book, because that's what I was
Yeah.
referring to when I talked about that part of the book.
That's
This was
that
the part of
for
the-
me. The Snowkit
Yes.
getting carried away was I was sure that it was either the ending or Snowkit getting carried away.
This was so due to Blue Star's continued refusal to make Ashpaw, Brightpaw, and Swiftpaw warriors. After Cloudtail is made a warrior, Swiftpaw comes up with the idea to go figure out what's going on in the forest with the dogs.
Because nobody knows at this point.
Brightpaw goes with him, and they get fucking massacred. It is
By a-
horrible.
It's horrifying. There is no chance for Swiftpaw. They find him completely lifeless.
So I think that Blue Star doesn't come with them. Blue Star does the naming ceremony back at the camp, maybe?
Blue Star doesn't do much at all, in fact.
Fireheart goes out and they find Brightpaw and she's alive, but barely. And she's like mangled. Her ear is completely torn up. One of her eyes is missing. Her half of her face is completely skinned, like permanently disfigured. And they bring her back, and they beg Blue Star if there's anything they can do for this poor apprentice, and she says there's one rite of StarClan that's not invoked often, where if a dying apprentice is of age and worthy to become a warrior, you can sort of posthumously promote them, so that they can be accepted. Yeah, so they can be accepted as a warrior by StarClan. So Blue Star invokes this rite, but not being content to just play nice for this poor dying child, decides to use her as a pawn in her petty war against StarClan, and gives her the name Lostface, which is so needlessly cruel to this poor kid.
This is one of the most pissed off I've been in my entire
No,
book.
I actually
I was mad.
I had to put the book down because I was so mad about this. And the other characters in the book are also furious about this. Cloudtail refuses to use that name.
I'm not calling her that.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking calling her that.
She is.
I'm gonna call her Brightspear
To me,
because absolutely fuck that.
Yeah, to me, she is still Brightpaw until, hopefully, at the start of the next book, when, spoilers, Fireheart becomes leader. He'd better get back to camp from his trip to the Mothermouth and just immediately be like, by the way, by the power of StarClan, here's your new name. Fuck that.
I have a feeling something like that might come. If it doesn't, I'll be a little saddened. I wasn't necessarily, angry by this moment, but I was, heartbroken. Not... part of it was heartbroken that Blue Star would do this, because this was truly one of the biggest moments of fall from grace of the whole book. I was also just so heartbroken for Brighttail or Brightpaw and Cloud Kit, because we should clarify, the Kit Paw. I get the names now, but the Kit Paw stuff still fucking gets me. Cloudtail, he's a warrior now. Cloudtail is very obviously in love with Brightpaw and does a lot of truly heartbreaking staying by her side and being oh man, this is really hard on both of them. He says multiple times to her while she's sleeping and having a really rough time, you're still beautiful to me, you'll always be beautiful to me, which is a really heavy and mature thing to be happening in this book at all, let alone coming from fucking Cloudtail, who's kind of like a nunce in every other aspect, but he's so mature with how much he cares about, making sure that Brightpaw remains part of the clan and feels useful. And again, it's the reason that it doesn't sit quite great with me, although I have high hopes, is that just like with Snow Kit getting carried away, they also are she'll probably never be a real warrior. And I'm I kind of wish that that doesn't really feel necessary in the book. It feels like we could have given it a little more time and been this is really tragic. But I understand why it's clan life is everything to these cats. But this is just 2.5 instances of kind of rough disability representation.
Yeah. For sure.
It just feels like in real life when people are upset with you for not having a job and they chalk the only value in life that you can have to doing a job and earning money.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm hoping that
clans are capitalist.
Even if, a warrior isn't fit to fight, I wish that they would still be you can be, even if it's just an honorary warrior where it's sort of a warrior in title only and they just hunt. They go hunting. They help the medicine cat. They maybe help train the apprentices, even if they can't fight full out. But still give them.
And it's not if somebody attacked the clan, they wouldn't do anything. In the past, we've seen
we've
clans
had
getting attacked
the
and
fucking elders, fighting.
Yeah, everybody pitches in when it's
Yellowfang.
necessary. So
Yellowfang as a prisoner of war was fighting off Shadow Clan in the first book. So yeah.
It's very obvious that nobody doesn't do their part, so the fact that part of clan life is to be so blatant about this just feels a little strange the more often it happens. So maybe in the next book or later books, like that type of thing will be tackled. I guess, this is a good time to bring up that they are kind of sowing those seeds in an even stronger sense now, because not only does Blue Star not trust StarClan anymore because of a larger percentage paranoia, but also a small percent of it feels like justified. There's also CloudKit, the aforementioned nunts. Hi, everybody. Editing Mitchell here. I very apparently did not know what nunts actually meant. I thought it just meant somebody who was dumb. I would formally like to retract my usage of it to describe Cloudtail, and I'm sorry to any British listeners. Who kind of is playing a role that I truly did not expect, which is like the atheist. He comes into camp and he's like, y'all don't fucking believe this shit, right?
You
This
guys
is like
don't really
kid
believe in
stories.
StarClan, right? This is just like
It's so funny to me.
yeah. Cloudtail being a non-clan born cat kind of contrasts Fireheart in that way, where Firepaw, as an apprentice, very willing to just absorb and believe everything, because he was like, this is
Well,
what...
Fireheart has prophetic dreams.
That's
Yeah,
also
of course
true.
he
believes
He
this.
also has dead cats visit him in his
Yeah,
sleep.
do you think that if you were like, God's not real, and then your uncle was like, God speaks to me like often, you'd be like, oh shit,
Yeah.
maybe God's real.
Maybe God is real. He definitely plays a very weird role in this, where like Blue Star is like, now this is a good warrior, because Cloudtail is like, you guys don't really believe in StarClan, do you? She's like, so bold, so counterculture.
He's like, I like this hip young kid in his disregard for our religion.
Disregard for our traditions.
And it's not even like Cloudtail's like, yeah, I'm also at war with StarClan. He's like, I don't fucking
I
believe
don't
in
think
StarClan.
that they're
So it's
real.
not like you're on the same tie. They're
These
not
are
really on the same
these
side.
guys aren't my warrior ancestors.
My warrior ancestor is my mom, and she's asleep right now, guaranteed.
She is napping, eating, playing with Squeaky Mouse.
My mom's name is Princess. Let's be so for real right now.
I do think it's really funny whenever Fireheart talks about StarClan and refers to them as our warrior ancestors. I'm like, bro, not you. You don't have those. Sorry, bud.
You're not included in this, man.
I'm like, yes, you are included because you're a clan cat now, but it's very funny for him to say yes, me and you, our warrior ancestors.
How I feel when I bow my head when people are praying at the dinner table.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yep.
Oh God.
dear God,
That's how I feel when I travel to another country and visit like a church that's really famous. And I'm like, yes. And then I buy like a knickknack from the church store to bring back to my grandma. That's how I feel. I do that all the time.
We could talk a little bit about the other clans, because we have running conflict with River Clan in this book.
And the verging conflict with Wind Clan that was...
Yes,
part of
because
the-
we
we
had
already
the war
talked
with
about,
Wind
yeah.
Clan. Fireheart went behind Blue Star's back. He went to Wind Clan camp, managed to get an audience with Tall Star, which is so crazy. Managed to avoid the asshole Mudclaw, who we hate. Worst character. Worst
Blech.
cat to ever do it. They end up getting Ravenclaw involved, or not Ravenclaw, Ravenpaw. Ravenclaw is a different book series that we won't talk about. They get Ravenpaw involved because they're like, Ravenpaw, Blue Star has said he's allowed in the camp, so he can come and make this communication without Fireheart being immediately incriminated. And they get like a peace treaty between Wind Clan and Thunder Clan sorted out.
To talk at Thor trees.
And Blue Star immediately knows that it's Fireheart's fault, and she chews him out for it later, which is a very scary scene. But in River Clan, Tiger Star has been in and out of River Clan. He knows that either Crooked Star's going to die soon, or quote unquote Crooked Star's going to die soon. And Tiger Star just happened to be in and out of River Clan camp at the time.
Yeah.
I never trust this guy. I don't trust this guy around leaders. I didn't trust him when it was Night Star mysteriously died, and then Mr. I'll kill you as many times as I have to showed up as the new leader.
Yeah, I don't trust him as far as I could throw him, and I'm a human, so I could
I
throw a
could
cat
throw him
pretty
really
far.
far. I could chuck this
Yeah.
cat like crazy.
But eventually, when Crooked Star does die, there's a lot, like, this book feels like every leader, there's new leaders all across the board. Everybody's dying. There's new leaders everywhere. I kind of had this like feeling in my my crackpot theory, if I may,
Of course you
is
may.
that eventually there's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be in the next book, because it feels like at this point it feels too early, because this book didn't really have enough of an inkling of this, but maybe in one of the next series. Eventually there's got to be a conflict where the resolution is that all the clans come together to fight something. And maybe
I
there's
feel
like
like
a
that's
mess.
gotta happen.
Yeah, maybe there's like a
Because-
massive overhaul to the system and they're no longer fighting with each other. But I really thought that the new leader shuffle around was going to be this point, because I kind of forgot, and maybe it's half forgotten, maybe half remember, but still don't understand why Leopard Star was that what it is? Leopard Star?
Yeah, Leopard Fur as deputy.
Leopard
and then
Fur
Leopard Star.
was the deputy before Crooked Star died. The new leader of River Clan, Leopard Star, really fucking hates Fireheart, and I didn't remember like there being a really good reason for that.
Leopard Fur is very like personal gain oriented, where she like in the previous book, was it in book 3 when Gray Stripe and Fireheart were hunting for Leopard Fur, and then in book 4 when River Clan gives them shelter from the fire. Leopard Fur is very like Telltale Games, Leopard Fur will remember this. Like, kind of maybe feeling like an aggression towards ThunderClan because she feels bad that they had to lean on the two ThunderClan warriors for help during that time. And then when ThunderClan needs their help, she sees the opportunity of, I can leverage this at some point. So as soon as she becomes leader, she's like, we're taking the Sunning Rocks. This is going to be our hunting territory. And they have a big battle over it.
Importantly, though, there's not only one cat going behind their leader's back. Our dynamic duo, the classic Fireheart and Gray Stripe duo, seems like they both got a little bit of an espionage bone in their body. Because the reason that I guess actually, it's not even the reason. Gray Stripe tells Fireheart in a very risky way at the Four Trees meeting one full moon that they're planning to take back Sunning Rocks. And Fireheart kind of says something along the lines of like, fuck man, I can't deal with this right now. Just like, thanks for the warning, but but don't give me more. Don't put yourself in danger. It's fine. And he never tells anybody about it, but he does know it's going to happen. And it kind of builds up this idea that Gray Stripe might also not be having a great time in River Clan anymore.
Yeah, it's...
Fireheart also goes, you shouldn't be telling me that.
Yeah, he says thank you, but come on, dude.
Our stupid chud son, Gray Stripe, who we love, can't make up his mind about where he wants to be. In a very tough situation, sort of his own creation. But also, I do feel bad for him because he just got into that situation because he's got so much love in his heart.
Yeah, there's so much rough stuff happening to cats in these books, both physically and emotionally. Like Fireheart and Gray Stripe both really going through it. Can you imagine? It's a real Romeo and Juliet. They fall in love. They have kids. He's like, I'm going to make the really tough decision to go to River Clan to be with my kids because my wife fucking died. And then nobody in the everybody in the River Clan's like, you don't get to fucking see your kids. They don't respect him and let him like hang out with his kids. So he's like, I'm here in River Clan and I don't even get to spend the time with my kids. So now I just miss ThunderClan. It's rough
everyone
stuff.
fucking hates me. I never get to hang out with my kids. I'm going over to ThunderClan territory all the time anyway to see my buddy Fireheart. Like,
Yeah.
oh wait, there's one scene in this book that had me dying laughing. It's when Fireheart and Sandstorm are out hunting, and they run into Princess. And
yes,
this
is a good one.
the first moment where they realize that the dogs are coming, that the dogs are a thing. after Princess leaves, Gray Stripe shows up and is like, hey man, I've been seeing Tiger Star in our territory. He's been chatting it up with Leopard Fur. You might want to keep an eye on that because clearly nothing good can come of these two very for themselves cats mingling right before Crooked Star's about to die. And then Mistyfoot shows up because Greypool's gone missing, and Sandstorm's just like, are there any other fucking cats in this forest I gotta know about that are just gonna show up right now? It's so funny.
It's very funny.
Like, maybe the funniest this book has been is just like, she's just like, is everyone from River Clan gonna show up right now?
It's really good. Speaking of funny moments, anybody else love the relationship between Sandstorm and Fireheart turning towards jealousy when they meet Princess? I thought that was so funny. When Sandstorm accompanies Fireheart and Cloudtail to see Princess, and she's like, who the hell is this feline? And they're nuzzling, and she's like, huh? And it's, oh, don't worry about it. This is my sister. Don't worry about it. It's just my sister, Cloudtail's mom. I thought it was so funny to see cat jealousy.
I thought that was more so just Sandstorm was pissed that there was a non-clan cat in their territory.
I totally read it as though
Fireheart being close with her. Sandstorm's like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I think Sandstorm was just been a little irritated. Just
That's
like
true.
Sandstorm has been irritated, and then seeing this strange cat she's never seen before in their territory going, Fireheart! She's like, Fireheart, what the fuck? What is happening?
Yeah.
Explain
I
this shit to
totally
me
read it
now.
as though she thought she was meeting Fireheart's side piece is how I read it.
His secret
she
non-clan
spits
GF.
Exactly. She spits out the words kitty pet with more vitriol than we've heard in multiple books.
Oh, for
and Fireheart,
real.
they just rush by it. Fireheart's not like, hey, that's my fucking
is not
sister you're talking
phased.
about.
He's not like,
yep.
hey, watch what you say around me, a former kitty pet.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that moment was really funny. But most of the book's not funny.
Fireheart has enough stuff going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of the book is incredibly hard to deal with.
Speaking of hard to deal with, we can get back into the battle with River Clan because Stonefur, the new deputy of River Clan under Leopard Star, and Mistyfoot are both at the battle, and they both are about to kill Blue Star. And Graystripe goes to warn Fireheart about it because Graystripe, this is something I forgot about until I was re-listening to the book. Graystripe doesn't know that those are Blue Star's kids. I forgot that Fireheart's the only one who knows. Graystripe's just like, I don't want to watch my former leader killed in front of me. So he goes and gets Fireheart, and Fireheart tells them the truth, a big truth bomb, that Blue Star is their mother. And they're both not happy about it at first.
Yeah, makes sense. You know,
I think both of them are kind of in the mindset still of like, Greypool was our mother, she just died. And now hearing that the leader of the enemy clan is our real mother, they don't want to hear it right now. By the end of the book, they've come around, clearly.
Yeah, it's a strange moment because first of all, Graystripe back at it again with the betraying your clan. This boy is obviously not loyal to River Clan, and it's also. Yeah. I mean, I understood why it had to happen, but it felt very strange to me, for Fireheart to be the one to reveal this secret. It felt like a moment that would have made a lot of sense for Blue Star to tell them herself. But, she just wasn't in the right mind. She was, like, she said later she was ready for them to fucking kill her. She was like,
yeah,
I'd be happy to die.
She gets mad at Fireheart for saving her.
She's like, I'd be happy to be killed by
like,
noble warriors instead of
my own
traitors.
Kill me. I could have been freed from this hell. And as a result of this battle as well, Graystripe is expelled from River Clan. Obviously,
by an all too eager Leopard Star.
Yeah. Leopard Star's like Leopard Star is like the manager who's been waiting to have enough of a paper trail to fire a really shitty employee.
Exactly.
It's like, finally one thing happened and I can say, goodbye. You're out of here.
Yeah.
And Graystripe ends up going with ThunderClan because Blue Star's just like, what's one more traitor for this clan? Who gives a fuck?
Yep.
And the clan's pretty split about it. And by pretty split, I mean it's like 3 to everyone else. That like Fireheart, Sandstorm, and Cinderpelt are all pretty happy to have him back, and everyone else is just like, he betrayed us, then he betrayed RiverClan, now he's back with us again? Sure.
Yeah.
Which is really sad, because that's our guy. That's our dumb chud son. Be nice to him.
This is like midpoint maybe that all this happens, but we do spend the rest of the book watching him settle back in. Some people get to like, kind of get back on his good side. It seems like he's not going to have the worst time in the world, and mostly I'm just happy he's back because I fucking love this guy. I love his relationship with Fireheart, and I'm excited to see how it continues to grow. These two besties.
Yeah.
When Fireheart becomes leader at the end, I do keep thinking about like who he's going to make deputy, and that's something I'm torn about because it's like I feel like the tendency is like to make your friend or like the person you trust the most your deputy, but I feel like Graystripe actually would be a bad decision.
Graystripe would be just about the worst choice he could make.
Exactly.
Outside of like Darkstripe, I think Graystripe is the worst.
Yeah,
choice
but I wouldn't. I also wouldn't want Sandstorm to be deputy because then their love would have to stop blossoming because they'd both be too busy. Is what I feel like.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole reason Blue Star gave up her kits because she was like, I'd be too busy with deputy.
Who's that really? The one who realized that something was wrong with Snowkit?
Brackenfur. I was thinking
It's
Brackenfur
probably
going to
be him, to be honest.
Yeah. I like him a
Also-
lot.
I think I remember who becomes deputy next, so I will not involve myself in this discussion because I have a pre-knowledge bias towards this one character.
Yeah.
That I'm
Aaron, I have a
pretty
quick
sure
question
is the
for you.
deputy. A quick question for me?
Yeah, you keep saying dumb chud son. What the fuck does that mean?
He's just my dumb chud son, and I love him.
Chud.
What does that mean, though?
Yeah, I'm gonna pretend like I know what chud means. Definitely
It's
not googling it
affection.
right now.
I definitely am not also Googling it right now because I don't know how to
I thought it
define
was just like another meme I didn't understand, because that's usually what the answer is. Sorry, I don't use like social media, so I hardly ever know what people are referencing.
The phrase chud son is most often encountered as a term associated with the online culture surrounding the rhythm game Osu. I don't think that's right.
That is not what I expected. Apparently, it comes from there was an old horror movie in which it stood for cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. Don't think that's what you mean either.
Yeah, chud is just like an insult that kind of means like dumb guy.
Jarhead.
I think. Yeah, it's like, generic cool guy who's stupid and doesn't agree with me, and I post about him on 4chan, and he's such a big
So,
chud.
kind of Chad, but...
It's like
stupid.
Chad, but dumb. Like bad. It's like
Okay.
bad Chad.
Also, can I say, I finally listened to the audiobook, by the way. That's how I recapped the story.
Yeah.
Listening to Graystripe talk for the first time, I'm like, oh, he's dumb, huh?
He
That
has,
boy
he
is
has the dumb
stupid.
Chud voice. I
has
don't
the-
know, Fireheart.
Fireheart, we have to save the clan. Why does he have a
Fireheart.
lisp?
Fireheart, Blue Star is dying. Fireheart, come save Blue Star.
It's so funny me to
really
be like,
funny.
oh, that character's stupid because Mr. Kevin McLeod has decreed that they're dumb as hell.
Kevin McLeod saw Graypaw speak once at the beginning of the book and was like, this cat dumb as hell.
Yeah. And just to be clear, Kevin McLeod is some sort of producer because that's not the narrator's name. So
Oh,
McLeod
Who's the
Andrews.
narrator?
No worries.
Kevin
Kevin
McLeod
McLeod told him what to do, though.
Is it Kevin McLeod or Kevin McLeod? He's the one who made the all the famous license-free music that
Yes.
YouTube
That's
has.
Kevin McLeod.
that's my bad.
No.
That's very funny. I didn't even realize you had said that. Yeah, no, McLeod
Apparently,
Andrews is.
If you have the name McLeod anywhere in your name, you are a blessing to the internet because Kevin McLeod's also great. Yeah, I love this man.
I think the last thing that we really need to talk about before we get into the finale is more about Bramblepaw, Tawnypaw, and their secret interactions with Tiger Star.
Yes.
Because we find out at about the midpoint of this book that Darkstripe is taking Bramblekit and Tawnykit before they're even apprenticed. So they're not even supposed to leave the camp. Especially not with, like, dogs and hawks everywhere. Dumbass
yeah.
Darkstripe. Darkstripe is taking Bramblekit and Tawnykit out to meet with Tiger Star so that they can know, like, who their father is. And Tiger Star wants them for Shadow Clan. At one of the gatherings, he says,
Give them
there are
back.
2 apprentices in ThunderClan that are my kits, Bramblepaw and Tawnypaw. I want them for ShadowClan. And he has all this secret knowledge that he got from Darkstripe about, like, the apprentices who were killed by dogs and the kit carried away by a hawk that he's, like, is ThunderClan... He's running, like, a smear campaign on Blue Star.
Yeah.
Like, is ThunderClan really who you want watching over your kits?
Yep.
Do you know where your kits are right now?
Do you know?
Kind of thing. But, yeah, very much, like, Darkstripe, kind of the last important character we haven't really talked about much, is very much like he wants to be back with Tiger Star again. He doesn't like his kitty pet deputy. He doesn't like his leader anymore. And he's not liking the future of ThunderClan, so he really regrets not going. And there's sort of a divide forming between him and Longtail, because they were sort of, they were in Tiger Claw's little gang when they were going after Ravenpaw.
They were the goons.
They were the goons, yeah. There's sort of a divide forming between them where Longtail's like, I knew about all this, but I was never involved. And Longtail seems very loyal to ThunderClan.
Yeah, he seems apologetic. Darkstripe
Yeah.
doesn't seem apologetic in these moments. Like Fireheart catches Darkstripe taking the kits to meet Tiger Claw and intervenes at the last second before Tiger Claw is able to tell the kits his biased account of what happened, and he confronts them and nothing comes of it. Like, there's no it's like a very peaceful moment where he's like, I'm taking the kits back, Darkstripe, I'm going to be watching you for this. And there's this moment as well as a few other moments in the book where they kind of imply that Tiger Claw, now Tiger Star, leader of ShadowClan, is kind of taking on like a more like genuine role with his kits at the very least, like actually wanting to be near his kits. But, this leading into the finale kind of reveals that he still hasn't really changed. All the things Fireheart's been thinking, like maybe he's not seeking power anymore, they haven't changed because he's up to his schemes again. The dogs, he's got something going on with the dogs.
He wants his kits back, A, because he wants them as warriors for ShadowClan, and B, because he probably doesn't want them killed by the dogs he's about to lead into ThunderClan.
Yes, so we learned that he's been feeding rabbits to the dogs.
Well, there's one more thing I want to talk about with Bramblepaw,
Oh, okay.
is that once those 2 are apprenticed while they're being given the tour, Bramblepaw and Tawnypaw ask Fireheart and Brackenfur about why Tiger Star isn't in ThunderClan anymore. And Fireheart finally tells them the full story and is trying very hard to reassure them that, like, no one is blaming you for what Tiger Star did. We all expect you to become good, strong ThunderClan warriors, and no one in the clan will hold this against you. And Bramblepaw's like, that's bullshit, because I have seen the way that you look at me. Because throughout this whole book, Fireheart's like this scary little kit who looks so much like Tiger Claw. What am I gonna do with him? Bramblepaw perceptive enough to notice that, and I really liked that moment. That he's like, no, actually, I see that you blame me for what happened somehow.
Yeah, and I think he's right, because personally, I feel like Fireheart needs to get the fuck over it. Like, holding the sins of the father against the child is kind of toxic as hell. The kit, Bramblepaw has moments in the book where you can see that he's growing. Like, he's too rough with the other kits when he's young, but then he gets better at it, and he's always excited to be helpful for ThunderClan. Like, I genuinely think Fireheart needs to get the fuck over it and treat this kit nicely, because if he ends up losing Bramblepaw to, like, Tiger Star in the next book or something, it'll fully be his fault for not being a good enough replacement mentor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a big character flaw for Fireheart in this book, and it also sort of leads into his confrontation with Longtail later, when Longtail comes to report to him about seeing Tiger Star feeding the dogs, where Fireheart goes into the full paranoia of, like, Longtail's out to get me, Darkstripe's out to get me, Tiger Star's out to get me, everyone's out to get me. And I think that he projects a little bit of that onto Bramblepaw as well, because he's like, this kid who reminds me so much of his father, who wronged all of us so much. Like, even if it's only a subconscious bias, it's still having an effect on their relationship. I'm hoping to see that reconciled at some point in the next book.
Yeah, and in that paranoia, Cinderpelt's like, hey, you sound a lot like Blue Star right now. And he's like, no, I don't. Oh, fuck, wait. I do actually.
That
Wait.
moment hit me so hard.
Yeah, it really did, and I was really glad that it worked. It was Cinderpaw was the perfect person to deliver that message to Fireheart, and there's a really great moment where he like kind of reconciles with Longtail and was like I trust you if you trust me, like we'll trust each other. And right before we get into the finale, or I guess no, we can get into the finale because
Yeah,
it
I think
happens
the
also with
sleepless night scene in the
Darkstripe.
finale.
Yeah, because Fireheart is right about one thing: never trust Tiger Star. Fuck that guy, major style. Fuck that guy. And Tiger Star has been feeding the pack of wild dogs. Now wild dogs, I guess. Free dogs. Dogs who got free. Feeding them rabbits, I guess to train them to want rabbits. And then they all discover on a mission to go check out the dogs that there's a trail of dead rabbits that Tiger Star caught and made into like a Hansel and Gretel style breadcrumb trail back to the ThunderClan camp. And they're like, oh, fuck. We're doomed if this happens. So they rush to go pick up all the rabbits. They get back to camp. They tell everybody, we got to get out of here because they can still follow the blood trail. They could still find us here. Everybody needs to leave camp. It's a genuinely scary finale because I wasn't sure how it was going to play out. I wasn't sure if the dogs were going to make it to camp. Everybody was going to fucking die because they really set it up that these dogs were not fightable.
Don't forget, at the end of the rabbit trail was a dead cat.
Yes, Tiger Claw had killed a cat.
Brindleface.
As in the mother
I think
of...
that was one of the most cruel deaths on Tiger
It
Star's
really
part.
is. It's
Like, because there was just no fucking need for it.
It was purely like this could have been any cat. He just needed a dead cat to give the dogs a taste for blood. It was like completely indiscriminate. He just needed to kill someone.
Yeah, she just.
It wasn't
happened to be
even
out.
like Brindleface knew something or Brindleface was against him in some way. It was purely just random chance.
Yeah, and
That's Snow. No,
That's,
that's Cloudtail's mom.
Cloudtail's mother. Yeah, Cloudtail
Adoptive
and some of the other kits are her biological kits, right? Like some of the
Yes.
apprentices.
Yeah, I think some
Isn't
of
it
the current apprentices. None of the ones
Tawny
that
Paw
died.
and the other one?
No, they're Golden Flowers kits. Golden
Oh,
Flower
okay.
and Tiger Star. I believe Swift Paw, some of them are Brindleface's other kits because she had a couple before Cloud Kit was brought into the clan.
I think it might have been Brightpaw because they talk about them being den mates. Like they just shared the den at the same time, so maybe that's what it was. Anyway, the
Ashpaw
Yeah,
and
so there's-
Fernpaw.
there we go.
Okay,
So actually,
gotcha.
none of the ones we talked about. Yeah, great.
Oh my god, I forgot about Fernpaw.
Yeah, at least they're still alive. Jeez. This trail. The dogs are leading this trail. There's a lot of ruckus at the camp. There's a lot of like planning and talking, and Fireheart shows great leadership skills, really planning how they're gonna make it out of this alive, if at all. There's this great sense that he gives the audience that is like, if this doesn't work, this might be the end of our clan. And one of my favorite moments of the entire book actually comes when he sees Darkstripe trying to lead Bramblepaw and Tawny Paw out of the camp in order to, very obviously sneak them away to Tiger Star because Tiger Star doesn't want them to die. And he has a confrontation with Darkstripe and the kits, the apprentices, and he's like, "Where do you think you're going?" And Darkstripe's like, I don't think that your plan's good. I'm going to try and take him somewhere safer. And he's like, yeah, like Shadow Clan territory or something. And he's like, and he's like, he really like actually goes off on Darkstripe. And he's like, how could you? Like, I'm so disappointed in you. It's pathetic. Like, you knew this was going to happen and you didn't tell any cat. And Darkstripe says, like, in a very like meaningful moment, like, I didn't know about the dogs. I swear. Tiger Star just told me to bring his kits. Like, the dogs are surprised to me too. And it's this type of thing that like I don't know, I'm such a sucker for villain turned like onto the side of the good guys. And Darkstripe is like perfect in my mind for that trope because he's just far enough where he's really close to being not salvageable, but he hasn't gotten there yet. And if he turned coat and became like part of the hero team, if he turned away from Tiger Star in the next book, I'd be so satisfied. I love that type of story. I think that he's the perfect character. He's been riding the line so hard, but he's still savable. So I really hope that that's part of the next book. That's why I like this scene so much because it
Yeah.
really shows like even he can be like surprised by Tiger Star's cruelty, and
It
I have
even-
a feeling that it's gonna, yeah.
It also says something about Tiger Star that like even his closest allies, he's willing to like leave behind to die if it serves him. That like he had Darkstripe help him coordinate everything except the dogs. And him not telling Darkstripe about the dogs means that he thinks if Darkstripe gets killed by the dogs, it's fine as long as he gets his kids.
Yeah. And it's a pretty crazy finale.
Yeah, so
this plan works. Anybody else
yeah,
want to the plan? I feel like I've
they
been
make
talking
the
for a while, sorry.
they make the plan. Fireheart devises a plan, thinking back to the River Gorge where our goat, we have to mention him every episode, White Claw, funniest warrior name of all time, was killed
Cracking him open.
in the short little tussle between ThunderClan and RiverClan when they were bringing WindClan back. He thinks about the gorge, and he thinks if we can lead the dogs over to the gorge, we're agile enough that we can trick them into running over and killing themselves, basically.
Well, he has the thought. He's like, even if we lead the dogs away or we're not here, the dogs are still in the forest.
We still have to deal with something, because it's not like we can just get away from the dogs. They'll track us back down. This isn't an enemy we can just trick away.
Because I think even someone says we can't live at Sunning Rocks forever. Like,
I think it was Blue
it's
Star.
yeah,
She's
at
like,
some
"What
point we'll
then,
have
huh?"
to return to the camp. So he has this sort of aha moment. He's like, we can do something.
Yeah.
Luckily, dogs dumb as shit. Totally willing to kill themselves.
Yeah.
You know? I'll commit a war crime. You know, coerced suicide.
He splits the camp up into two teams. He gets all the fastest cats in the clan to help him out to lead the dogs along a new trail over to the gorge, and then the slower warriors and the elders and Blue Star and all of them break into a separate team to go wait at the Sunning Rocks and, you know, keep themselves protected in case anything happens there. And Blue Star is pretty mad. She's like, what, you want me to go to Sunning Rocks with the elders? And Fireheart's like, no, I want you to go to Sunning Rocks as their leader. And this is where we finally get, like, Blue Star's final moment of sobriety, sort of like clear-headedness, of, like, she sees the cats all working together and she finally realizes this is not a clan of traitors. This is a clan of loyal cats. And so she...
Who at the very least love each other and me.
Yeah. She finally breaks away, and she ends up getting, like, a clutch save on Fireheart at the end, because when he's about to lead the dogs to the gorge, fucking dusty old bitch Tiger Star, out of nowhere with the steel chair, knocks him down.
Explain the plan at all? Like,
The
we
plan
haven't
was
really
to...
explained it.
The plan was
Oh,
to
yeah,
lead
okay.
them to the gorge. Is there more to it that we should
I
mention?
just want to say that it was essentially like suicidal baton passing was what the plan was.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was very like Star Wars-esque type stuff where it's like, we might not all make it back from this one. Luckily, nobody does get caught by the dogs. Like they run like a relay race. Yeah, you're right. Where it's like, okay, this cat runs for a little bit, then climbs a tree, and then they follow another cat who climbs a tree all the way to the gorge, and Fireheart's the last one. And he's like sprinting. He can feel the hot breath of the pack leader on his heels. And he's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do like the sharp J turn I was planning to get them to run over the edge. I might have to just jump. But then you're right. Tiger Star, out of nowhere, ruins the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And a moment that I'm confused by, Tiger Star stops him, knocks him over, and then the dogs catch up to him. And Fireheart describes being picked up by the dogs and flailed around. And ostensibly, this is what happened to Swiftpaw and Brightpaw. Fireheart's basically fine, though. It's kind of crazy.
Well, I just want to say, I feel like this kind of leads into my theory that Tiger Star doesn't have 9 lives. Because he just kind of like pins Fireheart down and then runs away. He doesn't actively try to do anything more other than let the dogs catch up to him. He doesn't put himself in any form of danger.
In order to ensure his survival. Or
Yeah.
ensure his success.
I was gonna say, it's just very un-Tiger Star of him. Like,
Yeah. But either way, he gets picked up by this dog, and he's like, I'm fucking dead. This is the end of my
Yeah.
plan. Plan didn't work. He's like, you know what? Help me, Star Clan. he hasn't lost his faith. He calls out, he's like, please, StarClan, help me. And these dogs that are made out to be unfightable, suddenly he's like, and I was released. And I looked, and Blue Star was there. And she tackled this dog. And in my head, I thought to myself, if Blue Star, this old frail cat, can tackle a dog, why couldn't you guys have fought the dogs? Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
but anyway, it's okay.
Well, it's more like her momentum pushes them into the water, right?
Yes.
Like,
I like to imagine she does like a leap kick, like a springboard. Kind
Yeah,
of
I
thing.
There's
think
a
it's
flying
like
front kick.
Yeah.
element of surprise barreling the dog into the water, the leader, and the other dogs are so stupid they just follow him.
Yeah, they
Like-
make dogs out to be like lemmings in this book. Like 4 extra, not the entire pack, but a lot of the dogs go over the gorge.
Oh,
as
they're
well
like,
as
there
Blue
must
Star.
be more cats at the bottom of this gorge if our leader's going after it.
Exactly, yeah.
Because, like,
So-
I don't think Blue Star is strong enough to fight the dog. Like, I
No.
don't think they would have won. But I think she was strong enough to just, like, tip him into the gorge.
Yeah, and the important part is that she came back to try and help Fireheart because of that realization Jaron mentioned, where she was like, actually, these cats love each other and me, and we're still a clan. So she comes back to try and help Fireheart. Alpha,
Yeah. I'm
some of the more dogs, and then her fall into the gorge, which was
I'm
not
so
the plan.
so glad that Blue Star got to have this final moment of clear-headedness because it makes her death feel less like a tragedy and more like a full circle on her
Yeah.
her arc, her struggle that she's been going through. Where River Clan shows up to help because Blue Star. Fireheart jumps down into the gorge after her, right? And tries to
Yeah.
Yes.
rescue her from
She
the river.
falls in, and Fireheart's like, there's no way I'm letting this happen. He jumps willingly into the gorge with the drowning dogs and Blue Star in order to hold her above the water because she can't swim. She's not strong enough to swim by herself. And he's like, now I'm going to drown too. Just as the consciousness is fading, he realizes Blue Star gets lighter. And he's like, what? And it's Mistyfoot. And she's like, I'm here to help. And Stonefur, right?
Yes.
And Stonefur, who's like, we've got her. You can let go. You save yourself. So her 2 kits come from River Clan to help save her. They all carry her to shore. The dogs are ostensibly drowned. We don't really get confirmation that they fully drowned, but, we don't see them again. And they pull her to the shore, and Tiger Star is on the human bridge between clan zones, watching this all dumbfounded. They pull her to shore. She's, coughing up water as much as cats can cough up water. And it's her final moments. And Gray Stripe also comes bounding to help, to stop Tiger Star from attacking all of them and giving them this private moment. It's a really wonderful moment. She has this reckoning with her kits. They say they forgive her. She says she loves them and she's sorry. And then she says to Fireheart the rawest line in all of media history. She says something along the lines of, I can't believe you still haven't seen it. I thought so all along when we heard the prophecy that fire alone will save our clan. I thought you wouldn't see it, but then my faith was shaken when the real fire came and it destroyed our clan. And she was like, but now I see they do mean you. You will save the clan. And Fireheart's like, what? And she's like, you will be the next leader. You will be the light of ThunderClan. It's a really fantastic.
You'll be
Go
like
ahead.
the light that warms the clan, but as fierce as a fire to help protect it.
Yeah, really great.
It's a really beautiful scene. Yeah, the Blue Star's death it's hard. I still don't think it hits me as hard as Yellowfang, just because
It didn't make me cry because it just felt like correct, I guess.
Yellowfang's
It's like
death
this is
felt
how she should have gone
much
out.
more like a tragedy than Blue Star's.
Mm,
Blue Star died protecting her clan and reconciling with her family, and that felt right for her.
I definitely also didn't cry. I'm definitely not a big cry baby. I definitely didn't cry reading the book and then also re-listening to it. I did. I sobbed. I sobbed because I cry easily. But for me, it was like, you're right, it wasn't as much as a tragedy, but I still cried, I think, just because of the weight of like thinking about everything Fireheart's been through and is about to be going through as Firestar now. And the book ends right here. He's like,
Oh yeah, it just fucking
Yeah,
ends.
it
I'm
pretty much
Firestar, we're headed
ends
back to
with
camp.
like Misty Foot and Stonefur will help you take her body back to camp. We want her to be buried in her home territory. And then Gray Stripe's all right, let's go. And that's the end of the book.
Yeah. So it's really a very tense moment. Tiger Star still hasn't been dealt with, but man, looking forward at everything that Firestar is going to have to deal with is really, crazy.
We thought he
I
had
can't
a lot
imagine.
to deal with as the deputy. Now he's going to be the leader, and
From kitty pet to leader.
I'm gonna get this dude a 10-pack of catnip cigarettes because he's gonna need it.
Yeah, exactly.
a little something to take the edge off.
Yeah, he's gonna need whatever medical treatment they give all of our a million-year-old presidents in the United States in order to keep
So
them on their feet
true.
walking around.
Whatever they're giving the King of England.
Yes, exactly.
Whatever dark magic they're using to keep him alive.
I can't wait for the next book where they're like, you know those photos of presidents before and after presidency where they all turn completely gray-haired from the stress? We're going to get that next book.
He's going to become Gray Star. Star Clan's going to be
Exactly.
here's your new warrior name. You're Silver Star now. This fur just goes completely gray. He's I'm 2 years old.
Yeah, this poor dude's not even 2 years old yet. Has the
Yeah.
most responsibility of the clan.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to the next book.
Yeah.
As I always am.
I'm so excited.
These
on this project
books
'cause these
always
books are good.
conclude in a satisfying enough way, but still leave you so much to look forward to in the next installment.
What a thing to end on and then have to wait 6 months to read the next book.
6 whole moons.
Yeah, I can't
That's
imagine.
a kid being born and then apprenticed. We had to wait.
Yeah.
It's
that was
fine.
the-
I forgot
yeah.
what the ending was anyways.
That's the reason we waited, everybody, is we actually have a new member of the podcast to introduce, new apprentice.
It's Craig.
No, Craig, our recording helper. No,
That's a joke just for us.
I think
we should start.
We should pretend
referring
that
to
Craig is
as if
our
they're
editor. Yeah.
Yeah, our our
Craig, make a
in-studio
note of that
producer.
later.
Yeah,
That's
like-
when I upload YouTube videos and I blame my editor for being slow when it's just me.
yeah. We're oh, Craig's typing in
You're
chat.
not wrong.
Craig typed recording.
Craig typed hello. I haven't heard anything for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Anyway, this book was, of the ones so far, the most stressful for me personally.
Oh my god. Yeah. This
So
is
much.
I thought
Just in
that,
real life, when somebody who's your rock is suddenly no longer there. Oh
Yep.
boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that the last book was the Nothing Good Ever Happens book, and this truly is the Nothing Good Ever Happens book part 2.
Can't wait for the rest
with,
of the 30 books.
A couple of good things that happen at the end.
Looking back when you asked me to do this project with you, Jaron, thinking about people I knew in middle school and early high school and stuff that were big into Warrior Cats, all of the talk I'd heard online and at lunch tables of OCs and fan stories and people role playing the game. I understood that there was drama, but everybody seemed in their own stories they were yeah, I'm pretty happy. Me and my twin cat, we're pretty cool, and everything's great. The vibes that I got from all that was never we are suffering. There is no fresh kill. We cannot wait. We're going to die.
Clans will
before
not
a new
survive
leaf."
this leaf bear.
Yeah, exactly.
All our kits
So-
will die of frost.
So I just never expected them to be the Game of Thrones of cats.
It's a soap opera. It's a fucking
It's-
insane soap opera.
Yeah, it's
Truly.
crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got a secret evil old twin. Fireheart.
Well, honestly, I'm waiting for Snow Kit to shamble back in.
Snow Kit comes back and it's I've been
truly-
alive all along.
I learned from the birds.
I learned how to see with my ears.
That'd be
Yeah.
way better
Or,
than them
sorry,
just killing
hear
off
with
one of the
my
only
eyes, I
disabled
guess.
characters.
I learned how to see with my ears. I mean,
I learned how to
hear
see
my
with
eyes.
my ears that don't work, so now I also can't see.
Yeah, this is really great. Do we want to do plugs?
Do we want to do what are we looking forward to? What are we expecting to happen in the next book?
I want to find out that Tiger Star didn't get his fucking 9 lives.
Yeah.
I think that's a great
I'm at my
theory.
red board. I'm at my whiteboard with my red lines. Like, I want to know that he didn't get those fucking things.
You're doing
I want
the
climax
Charlie
to be.
Day pin and
Yeah.
yarn board.
Yeah, exactly.
I want the climax to be that him and Fireheart get in a fight, and he's like, "Oh, this won't even be the end of it because he has 9 lives," and then he kills him and he's dead.
Be pretty funny
Yeah.
if they fight and they kill each other and only Firestar wakes back up.
Yes,
like,
like that
holy
would be
shit.
so
Tragic.
incredible.
That would
would be
go
crazy.
hard.
But, like, that's probably not gonna happen because we need him to continue being the evil, awful villain. But, God, I want it to so bad.
He can't continue being the evil alpha villain forever because the future series don't revolve around all the same cats, I don't think, from what I know.
No.
Yeah. But still, I like your theory. What are you looking forward to, Jaron?
I just need Firestar to, as his first act as leader, executive order signed in office. Bright Paw gets a real warrior name and not
Yes.
that shit that happened.
I am looking forward to the inevitable many moments where cats who have traditionally been a little bit anti-Fireheart are now like, you know what? Fuck it. Firestar, you kind of rock at this. Because I just love those types of scenes. I can't wait. I think that's going to include, changing the name. That's going to include, I fully expect, mostly because when I read fiction, for some reason, no matter how much fiction I read and it never happens, I always expect it to work like real life, where if you just communicate with people, things turn out well. So my thought is, first chapter, next book, whole chapter, where Firestar is just like, I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry about this. This is why I did this. This is why I did this. And everybody's like, yeah, that makes sense. We forgive you. And then life's good
Firestar
again.
apology video at the beginning of book
Exactly.
6.
Exactly.
I'm also looking
What
forward to
I
finding
think is
out
gonna happen.
who the new deputy's going to be.
Me
I
too.
think
Yeah, that too.
that's also like a big exciting shakeup. Like, not only just like the current deputy becoming new leader, but like who does Firestar see as the cat most worthy to co-lead the clan with him, or succeed him if the worst should happen.
Well, I think, Whitestorm would be a good choice. He's also older.
Whitestorm would be a great choice for sure.
He could be deputy for a little bit, probably not survive super duper long. And then
Yeah,
another
that's
deputy
the
gets a chance.
thing.
Yeah,
Which is not a bad thing. He deserves
What
that at this age.
What I think he's gonna do first is A, pick a deputy, and then B, make everyone warriors who absolutely should have been already.
So
Yep.
Bright Paw and Fern Paw and Ash Paw will all become warriors, and Cloudtail won't have to be sad that his den mates don't like him anymore.
Exactly. And, I can't believe I forgot this. This is not one that I'm coming up with right now, but one that I was actually thinking about reading the book. I am super excited for our first person's perspective meeting with the Moonstone.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about
I cannot
that.
wait.
Holy shit.
I can't wait to see what it's like.
Okay, yeah. I'm getting on this book today.
I can't wait. Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh,
I don't
man.
want to wait 3 weeks.
I'm a slow reader. I will start reading it now, and I will finish right before we're ready to record. But yeah, we
I'll read it in 2 days.
We can wrap up. Thank you guys all for listening. Hopefully that this episode was a little bit more engaging with less summary. If you have thoughts about the structure, please let us know. You can email us at warriorspod, PAWD, @gmail.com, or reach out to us on social media. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky as warriorspod, PAWD.
You know what? There are comments under Spotify podcasts now, so you can
shit.
comment under the episode.
Like,
what
comment,
you
and
think about it.
subscribe on Spotify. Whoa.
Yes.
I don't know about other platforms, but if you're listening on Spotify, you can now tell us directly what you feel without having to email us.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if you liked the episode, I don't quite remember what services have ratings, but if you want to give the podcast a rating, be fantastic. Tell all your friends.
Yeah.
Get all
read
your friends
reviews.
into Warriors. My TikTok feed lately has been so much Warriors, so I'm really hoping that we're getting this project out during the beginning of a small Warriors renaissance, and we can kind of ride this train. It would.
I think Warriors is good enough that it deserves a
incredible.
renaissance every 5 years, for sure.
Absolutely. If you want to see more of me, I'm on Twitch at Jaron D Ratman. I've been streaming quite a bit more lately. I've been playing through all the Pokemon games, which is very fun. And you can follow me as well on Blue Sky and TikTok at Jaron D Ratman.
If you want to see more of me or hear more of me, you'll never see me get fucked. I'm on twitch.tv/a little bit toasty. I stream at least a couple times a week at around 1 p.m. CST. And if you want to find me elsewhere, I'm at Itty Bitty Toasty.
If you want to see me get fucked, too bad.
Whoa.
I have an OnlyFans, but you can't subscribe to it. No, that's not true. But also, nothing to plug, really. I'm very accessible in my real life. If you want to be my friend, come find me, I guess. But I don't really do much online these days anymore. So instead, I'll just say read these books, keep listening, tell us what you think. And I had a great time. Hope you did too.
Hell yeah.
If you like this, check out our alternate podcast where we theorize when the cats have time to fuck.
That's so true.
Yes.
We're 5 episodes in, still trying to figure it out.
This is like the Zelda timeline. We're never gonna get it, but we'll keep trying.
And even when we do get it, everybody will be like, I don't like it, actually.
I have different ideas. Email us your ideas about when the cats fuck. On that note,
If you're over
Maybe don't do
18,
that.
email us the ideas about when the cats fuck.
If you're over 18, send us your dating profile for no reason in particular.
Exactly.
jeez. All right,
not
until
all
next
lonely.
until next moon.
Until
Until
next
next
moon.
moon.
Get out of here.
Say my name, say my name. You're calling me baby. Say baby, baby. Smash me, smash me.